I just trimmed my hair and I thought that I would come on and show you guys how I did it. I followed Good Gravy, it's wavy. I followed her haircut tutorial to a certain extent, and I thought I would come on and show you guys how I did it. So I obviously need to wash my hair, but I cut this while my hair was dry. I brushed my hair out really good, and then I sectioned my hair off. I sectioned it off in 5 sections. I'll show you how I did that. I started off with the top layer right here. And then I did my ear. From the tops of my ears all the way back. So this look right here, I barely trimmed my hair. These layers are just going to be very like long, light layers. They're not going to be anything heavy. With my hair being so fine and the top part being a little bit more curly, I don't want to have like some heavy short layers, because then all my curls will be right here and then I'll have like long wavy-ish hair down here. So I want it to all blend together. I'm just dusting my ends. I just dusted my ends. I did not do like, I would say not even maybe, I wouldn't even say ½ inch. Just a very little amount. If I was going in for a couple inches, I don't know if I would do this myself. And I also want to say too, I'm not a professional. I'm not a licensed cosmetologist. This is just a hair tutorial that I had saw and that I tried, and it worked for me. I did go to school for hair. Sure, I preface by saying that I am in no way a hairstylist. So this may or may not be correct, but this is what worked for me. So I would just barely, I would take I would do like little splices. So here's my first splice, the hair coming up from over here. And I would pull down and I would just barely just trim up those ends right there. So then just to check, I would kind of pull my hair together. And like I was saying, I always want to pull it this way, which I was pulling it more back towards my back, pulling it down, and then just trimming. That was it. So I did that on both sides, pull down, pull back, just barely, and just trimmed, as you can see. And then I would go on to my next section. So I would take this back piece out. And for me, my hair is like the perfect length. I can do this, but I would do the same thing. I would do like the little splices, go up, pull down and back, and then just cut. And I would do the same thing back here. I would do like a splice. I would pull down, and then I would bring it over to the side. So I actually did have my husband though in the back just check my hair for me to make sure it was even. And then once I got all the way around to making sure, like, okay, we're gonna pull this side back and then we're gonna trim. I pulled my hair around the front to make sure, you know, everything was even. So as you can see, there's just barely any layers there, just barely. So then I would start on my next section. And I would do the same thing. I would go and I would take like a little splice right here and brush or comb, pull all the way back, go at an angle, and just trim right there. As you can see, very light layers. Did the same thing on this side. Do another splice, pull back, and then looks like the spot needs to be just, there we go. As you can see, just very light layers, just a little bit, nothing heavy, blends very nicely, and then I would do that all the way around. And then when I was finished, once again, make sure everything is even on both sides. So then when I came up here, I usually flip my part, but I did cut it with a middle part. I added some bangs a couple days ago besides these. I would do the same thing around here, just pull down, pull back, and then trim. And as you can see, this gave me very light layers, and I have some shorter pieces in here and they blend very well. I don't know if your hair was like super curly or super kinky. I don't know if this would work well, but this, I followed her tutorial many moons ago. Like I would say maybe in my first year of the curly girl method, I followed her Good Gravy It's Wavy's tutorial before. So I would go back, same thing, pull, and then just trim all the way around. The back I always feel can get a little bit tricky. So when I did that, I did the splice again, and I pulled down towards the floor at an angle, and then I just trim. And that was it. So for my bangs, when I did this the other day, I just took a couple little light layers because my hair has been so like long around my face. It's been in desperate need of a trim. I haven't had my hair trimmed since December. So it's been long overdue. And I had a lot of dry ends. So the front pieces were very long and I felt like it was kind of starting to weigh my face down. I wanted it to look just a little bit more face framing. So I did, when I took these pieces in, I cut them at a very steep angle going this way, as you can see. And then I have some shorter pieces. I'm hoping I may even cut these a little bit shorter. We'll see, I'm not sure yet. My sister kind of inspired me when I was doing her hair. It looked so cute, her bangs did. So yeah, this was a super like, again, it wasn't anything like crazy. It's not a curl by curl haircut, but I feel like this cut works perfect for my hair because, like I said, it's a little bit curlier on top than it is on bottom, and I wanted to keep the length. So I feel like this worked for me. So now I'm gonna go wash my hair and I'll be back. Okay, so I just finished styling my hair. I didn't do any brush curling or anything. And look at how much my curls bounced up just from that little trim. I haven't quite figured out how to do the bangs yet, so they're kind of hanging out over here. But just from that little trim, and I mean very little trim, my curls have bounced up so much. I mean, look at that. They are so happy and bouncy. My hair needed that trim, and I'm so happy I did it. It worked really well, and I'll show you the back real quick. So I'll make sure I save this in a reel or in a highlight, and I'll probably put this together and make it into a video as well.